Hi everybody. I just came back from Eli's and he pulled the shoes off the blacks. I decided I really don't need shoes on them right now, and so we pulled the shoes off them, and I'm going to try something and you'll be able to see it firsthand what happens. Since they don't have shoes on, and since they'll be out to pasture a little bit more than they have been, it's going to be a lot easier if they are actually with the colts. So I'm going to open up the gate and see what happens as they go with the colts. Hopefully they'll behave and not fight. If they fight, of course, I'm going to have to do something different. But let's see what's going to happen. Yes. Good behave. All right, back up. Back up. Okay. Let's see what happens. Apparently, colts just want to be around me. Come on, guys. Go with the big boys. Come here. Come on. Look at that. Pretty well ignored them. I thought we'd have a little bit more trouble or something here. But one went one way, one team went one way, one went the other. It's a rainy, dreary day, so they're actually all outside today. But I will keep the shoes on the Belgians, and they will still be doing the bulk of the work around here, and they will be doing the logging still, but the Percherons will still do plenty of haying. But this is good that the colts and the Percherons have no issues. Buck went right out and did some rolling in the grass. Lady's doing great with her front foot. Walking and working perfectly fine. So anyways, that's what's going on here on the farm. While the girls are obviously still in Hawaii, I'm just kind of plugging away. So anyways, hope you guys are having a great day. Mr. Earl and Duke. I know you want to come in, but you're not going to. Wait till tonight. Yes. A couple of weeks ago, we were able to take a visit down to the widow of one of my mentors that I had growing up and learning about horses. And we want to tell you about that.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Working Horses with Jim. We're in Vermont, and we have with us our wonderful grandson James, and we are down for a day to visit family, and we were privileged to be able to go visit one of Jim's old mentors, Ken Young. Ken passed away, but we went to visit Ken's wife Alice, and went down memory lane with her. We had a really nice visit. Alice is in her 90s, but still on her own and doing great. And Alice actually gave Jim a few things that were Ken's for the horses, and that's what a treasure. Do you have anything you wanted to share?
Yeah, it was an old walking plow that I don't recall if that's the one he used to use, but Ken is a very good plowman, and we have some pictures of him plowing. And also she gave us a couple feed bags which I'll have to show you, and also a couple of hame covers, which for all the years I knew him, I kind of envied those hame covers. He just always had them cleaned up so nice, and his horses looked so nice with their harnesses with those hame covers on. So I will show you them also.
And in Jim's word, they're priceless. It was a real treasure for him to be able to get those. It was just really beautiful to be able to connect with the family again. It's been a few years, and it was just so nice to go back to that old, the old farm place.
It's amazing. After 30 years, we've been in New York for 30 years, so we haven't had close contact with Ken during that whole time, but how much an influence he has been on my life and all that I do from just those younger years that I spent so much time with him, and he taught me so much, so I'm very thankful for Ken. So here we are at my friend many years ago, one of my most inspiring mentors, I guess you could say. He did so much with his horses, and he just helped me along as I started out, and so I want to show you his place, and he has died a few years ago now, but his wife is still here, and we had a great conversation with her. And so as I come into their house, which I did many times before, Ken and I would spend a lot of time sitting right out here in this little mudroom, and with all of his pictures, and just chatted and chatted and chatted about horses for a long time. Here we are out in his old horse barn, where I spent many hours talking with him out there. He always had a clean barn with some awful clean horses. Here's the plow that they're giving me. I'll talk more about that later.
Still just as clean as a whistle in here, really.
Yeah. Well, Gramp and Graham they always ran a pretty tight ship.
Oh my goodness. So Ken was born in 1921, and back in those years they used horses a lot. This is him. Alice wasn't sure how old he was, but working a set of discs with a pair of horses. And here's a pair of horses a little bit later on. Ken definitely had farming in his blood along with horses. I don't think he ever did any logging, but here he is. Must be he was getting out a bunch of firewood probably for the home place. Years ago, I think there used to be an awful lot of bays back then. Here's a nice pair of bays that he has right here. But Ken was always a dapple gray man. He just loved his dapple grays. In his later years, he had a few really good pair of dapple grays. And as you can see him plowing here, he just was a super plowman, one that everybody aspired to be like. The problem with dapple grays is they lose their dapples after a few years, and they would just turn gray. So he'd end up buying a different team after that. This photo is from a sap gathering contest that we used to have down in southern Vermont. But I went to the very first one that they had, and they continued having them after I moved to New York. That was a lot of fun. They would just fill the buckets with water, and each team would go around and gather the sap, water, and whoever could gather it in the shortest period of time won the contest. Here's Ken out plowing with his famous dapple grays. And this might be the same picture that was on the Draft Horse Journal cover. I know he had one there. And here he is at Billings Farm plowing contest. I don't know where he placed, but I'm sure it was quite high. So here are the two hame covers that I got from Ken, or Alice actually, but she had said that she thought Ken would be very glad that I had them. And so there's two names on them, Dan, and this one was Pat, and I have no idea which horses these were. I'm guessing, if you remember from my pictures, those bays that he had many years ago had the same these hame covers on his horses then, and so maybe that was a Dan and Pat, I don't know. But these are quite old. They seem to be in relatively great shape for their age. They need a little bit of oil right now, yeah. He had them for quite a few of his horses over the years, and I'm so glad I've got them, and I'm going to use them at times. And the nose bags I told you about that they gave me also, I used them in my one of my recent videos when I went to the horse bowl. I put those are the nose bags that I got from them. So let me go show you and tell you about this plow. Actually, maybe I'll tell you about it right now because where we're going, it's outside and the wind might be bad. So this plow is a plow that I don't know if Ken ever used this plow. It's an old plow. It's got a wooden beam on it. It's not really fit to plow with and hasn't been for some years. But anyways, when Ken, I think it was for his 90th birthday, his kids got this plow out and painted the names or wrote the names of a whole bunch of his horses that he had on the plow. And then on the moldboard, they printed a verse from the Bible. And I think they set it outside of his house for quite a few years there for decoration, so when people came they could see this plow. And so I thought that was a great thing for the kids to do for their dad. Just a few things about Ken. One story I remember, he would come up to the place where I live back in Vermont quite often and visit with me. And I remember one day I was logging and I came home from the woods and there was Ken. He'd got there before I got there and saw that my barns weren't clean. So what does he do? He grabs the wheelbarrow and the shovel and cleans my barns for me. And as much as I appreciated him doing that, I never let him catch me again with a dirty barn. His barn was always so spotless. His horses were always so spotless. He was something I always tried to do things the way he did it. And for him to catch me with my dirty barn, it was quite embarrassing. So never again. And so anyways, he was such a big help to me. I remember when I was 18, 20 years old, starting out pulling horses, I would go to the horse pulls and take dead last every single time. Well, he would always come over and encourage me and give me pointers. And so bit by bit, I got better and better. And so that was a big help. There was other mentors, of course. My father was an incredibly big mentor to me. But maybe I'll have another video on him sometime. But since I was down here getting the stuff from Ken's family, I just wanted to talk about him, and I just appreciate him, and thank you to the whole Young family for allowing me to do this. And let's go look this plow over. So here's this plow that I got from Ken. It has names of all of his horses, not all of them sure, but just a bunch of his horses that they put on for a surprise for Ken. And then they have this verse, Deuteronomy 39. The Lord your God will prosper everything you do and give you many children and much cattle and horses and wonderful crops. For the Lord will again rejoice over you as he did over your fathers. Deuteronomy 39. So this plow is not a usable plow. That moldboard would never, beam, stand it. First stone that I hit, it'd be in several pieces. But it's a very unique plow with this handle. I've never seen a handle quite like this with a bow quite like that. All I need is a good pair of horses. Talking about horses, we better go out to the pasture and check on mine. This is the next bag. And as you can see, they seem to be getting along quite well. Hi guys. Getting fat? Huh? Getting fat on this good grass? Well, as you can see, the horses are getting along great out to pasture. This is another dreary day, and we have had quite a few dreary days. We've had some sunshine, but then not enough to really dry hay. I did put a little bit of hay down on the lower farm just because it was a little bit thinner. I thought maybe I could get it dry, but it didn't. It got rained on. And but I still have this heavy crop right here in front of us, and then I've got the whole lower farm to do, so I'm hoping for some good weather, but I expect we'll get it soon. Until then, there's plenty of other stuff to do. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video today. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.